Berachot 6:5 Mishnah Hey. Berach ala yain shelefnei hamazon. If somebody made a beracha on wine, borei gefen, before the meal, patar et hayayin shelachar hamazon. It covers the wine after the meal. We'll see what this is in a minute. Berach ala parperet shelefnei hamazon. Same thing with the parperet, which comes from the word peripheral, meaning side dishes, appetizers, or dessert. Then if he said a bracha on these before the meal, patarta parperet shelachar mazon, it also covers for what he had after the meal. So all this is coming to say is basically what's covered in a meal. Usually we know hamotzi, it covers things that have to do with the meal, with the bread. It doesn't cover fruits. If you're having borei ha'etz, an apple, you say borei ha'etz on it. The bread doesn't cover that. Bread doesn't cover everything. Also wine, because it has an elevated status, it also needs a beracha. You have to say borei gefen in the middle of the meal if you're going to have it. So the chidush here is, if you said a hagefen before the meal, then even though it says after the meal, it doesn't mean after Birkat Hamazon. It's still everything before Birkat Hamazon. It just means after the meal, meaning the food was taken away, the dishes were taken away, and now they want to have another cup of wine. That's what it means after the meal, but still before the Birkat Hamazon. So one might thought, once I say hamotzi, I cut off any bracha I said before. I said hagefen, now I'm going to say hamotzi. And now if I want wine, maybe I have to say hagefen again, because that's the rule for hamotzi anyway. And you might think, even though I said hagefen before, maybe the new hamotzi breaks everything off. So that's the chidush. It does not. If you said hagefen before, then you don't have to say hagefen during the meal. And if you had some kind of a fruit or something before, that's borei ha'etz or whatever it is, then you don't have to say it again even during the meal. Now, berach ala pat patarta parperet. Just as a rule, if you make a blessing on the pat, which is bread, it also includes the parperet, which we know the bread usually includes everything. It means, of course, side dishes that are not exceptionals, like not borei ha'etz things. This kind of parperet in this line is just talking about things that's really part of the meal. Now, ala parperet lo patara patat. If you say a blessing on the parperet, it's not gonna cover for the bread, which we know, but that's the rule that the Mishnah is bringing down. Now, Bet Shammai omrim af lo maaseh kedera. Even the parperet stuff is not going to poter other parperet stuff. If it's coming to be a cooked food, like a new cooked food, or if it's, some say, a fried food. So even if you had some kind of a ha'etz, and now you're going to have another type of ha'etz that's in a either cooked or a fried food type of scenario, you would even have to say a beracha again on that. Now, of course, as far as the halacha is, there's many different halachot for different communities. Not only if something is ha'etz, if you had it in the meal or after the meal, even if you had shehakol or mizonot, but they brought it after the meal, so people might say a beracha on those, even though mizonot and shehakol is usually part of the hamotzi. But if it came after the meal, that's why they say as a dessert, some communities at some situations, they would also say a beracha on that. So again, each one follow their halacha for what we have to do in these cases.